Hey everybody, how's everybody doing today? It is a Saturday evening and I'm here with a special show for you guys. Thank you for joining me on 365 Movies in 365 Days, and my name is Jose. Now, why a special show tonight? Well, because of this little thing called Marvel. If you're not familiar with what's going on right now, ComicCon down in San Diego is going on, and of course, there's been a lot of big announcements all week relating to movies, TV shows, and all the like. And we, of course, had some big announcements this evening, maybe about 30 minutes ago, maybe an hour at the most, but certainly within the last couple of hours, some big announcements have been dropped, and that's what I'm here to talk to you guys tonight about. I'm going to talk about what exactly is coming up, when it's coming up, and where you can find it, and then just my general thoughts on everything, because it's all very exciting. I wasn't expecting anything for tonight. I actually was watching television. I was watching a movie, preparing for a special episode that I'm in the works for, when my cell phone just started going crazy with texts and tweets and all the like from people going, "Can you believe this? Look what's going on." And I'm like, whoa, what's going on? And then I saw, and I knew that there was going to be something big from Marvel at Comic-Con, but I wasn't sure exactly what it would be and how big it was going to be. So there is a lot to get through. Now, I'm not going to go in specific orders. I'm going to try to keep it all about the same order as to when it's coming out, but it's not going to be exactly any kind of order, but I just kind of want to run through everything. So the first big thing that we're getting is Black Widow. That's going to be the very first movie of the next upcoming phase for Marvel and the MCU. This is supposed to drop out on May 1st of 2020. It's Black Widow, like I said. Scarlett Johansson will be back for that one. It's going to really kind of go into her background and her development as Black Widow. So that is really exciting. The whole thing with Captain Marvel as the first female superhero was exciting, and I'm glad that they're doing more. So I'm really pumped on that. I think this is going to be great, and hopefully it'll help to expand and diversify. As much as some people don't like that word, to diversify things, I think it's important, and I think that this is another great step in it. In fact, a lot of these movies are in the great step of doing that. So the next one we have is The Eternals, and this is scheduled for November 6th of 2020, so next year, and it's going to star Angelina Jolie, which is, look, I am going to be upfront about this. I'm kind of mixed on it. I only know very little about them as characters, but Jolie really kind of... To say that I'm not a fan of hers is kind of a bit of an understatement, in that I'm not a fan of hers at all. Don't get me wrong, she's a fine actress, but she just never has screamed a fine actress. So I'm gonna hold back. I'm gonna be doing some research and more reading. I don't want to judge her necessarily as whether she's right for this role or not, but it is something from what I've read that might just be in her ballpark, and she might play really well into it. So that's exciting. The next thing we have is Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and this is scheduled for fall of 2020, and this will be on that new Disney Plus, which I will probably sign up for and get, just because I like all new shiny things. And that'll be with Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan. And as you know, Anthony Mackie's character got the Captain America shield, so I'm really interested into how that's going to play into that. If this is going to be in any of the other times when the characters were first getting started before he was announced as Captain America, or whether it'll be part after. So that's going to be exciting. The next thing we have is the Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. This is the first Asian leading man, which is important to say, but it's the first major Asian character who's a leading person in a Marvel movie, which is exciting. Like, again, let's go back to what I said a few minutes ago about diversity. It's an important part of anything that we do. So I'm really excited about this. Looks great. I have a great fascination and admirance of Japanese type movies, and so hopefully this will be more of that, and so we will get to see more leading Asian actors, character actors of all kinds, because I do believe that not only Japan but China, Taiwan, all of these great, have a lot of great actors and actresses who can really add a lot of value to Hollywood movies. The next one we have is, and by the way, going back to the last one, the Shanghai, one of the big things was that hot actress right now, and I don't mean hot in terms of looks, but I'm talking about just because she's doing so well. Aquafina will be in there, and I had a friend of mine who was like sending me a message saying, oh, she's going to be in there. She's so excited. And I was like, yeah, she's great, And then I remember, oh, wait, she is good. She has been on a roll lately. So that's exciting. The next thing we have is WandaVision. And like a lot of people who were like, I can't believe they're actually going to keep the name WandaVision. I'm like, right? WandaVision? What kind of... it is going to be with Elizabeth and Paul are back, as respectively as Wanda and Vision. It is supposed to come out in the spring of 2021, and it will take place after Endgame. And one of the characters that's been announced that will be in there will be Monica Rambeau, who, if you remember, that character is just a little kid in Captain Marvel. So we're going to see her grow up by that point. I forget what the name of the actress who's going to play her. I didn't write it down in my notes here. Bad at me. But it's exciting, and then that will lead into another movie in a moment that we're going to talk about. I don't know how that's going to work really, because honestly, those two characters weren't exactly my favorites of the MCU so far. So maybe, I like their relationship. I like the whole dynamic of them, how they were growing, and maybe by giving them their own series, we can see that more and they can grow as characters, because right now, honestly, they were so limited in already packed movies like the Avengers. There's just so much going on that you don't really have time for those small nuances as characters to grow. But that's exciting. The next one we have is Loki. So Loki is back, and this will be in the spring of 2021. This will be the 2012 version of Loki, who we saw steal the Infinity Stone during Endgame. And the whole basis of the show is, where the hell has he been? It's kind of like, where's Waldo? Where's Waldo? Or where's Carmen Sandiego? I was going to say either one of those two kind of works. So where's he been off to? Has he bounced around through different galaxies, different dimensions, different characters? Who knows? So that's going to be exciting to see. The next one is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And this is where that whole multiverse type thing really is going to start to click in. Now, this is Doctor Strange 2, for those who want to know, because we already had a Doctor Strange, which, by the way, I'm always surprised when I talk to people and I tell them, oh yeah, we've already had such and such movies, and they'll be like, when did the first one come? Like, I ran into somebody not that long ago who I was telling them, oh yeah, they've already done Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2. They're like, really? I'm like, what rock have you been under? And because I said, well, they're going to do a third one, they're like, they've done 1 and 2 already? Like, yeah, they did. Anyways, so that's going to come out on May 7th of 2022, and it will feature the Scarlet Witch. Now, the interesting thing about it is that the WandaVision TV series is going to lead right into it. So that'll be the lead into Doctor Strange, which is interesting. And I like that. I like that dynamic of that the TV shows will interact with the movies and not just be standalones, So what that does actually, and it's really smart of Disney, is that it ends up allowing them to make it so, you have to watch these shows. They become more critical because they are interwoven. They're not just standalone. You can just brush them off. No, by interweaving them, you get to see them and they become more important. And so you have to see them, and then more people have to get Disney Plus or get someone's password. The one thing that I am also very excited about it is that they did announce that Doctor Strange will have more of a scarier, darker, almost horror level, I would say. I'm not going to go as far as saying that it's probably horror, and I could be wrong about that. That's what they're kind of leading into and saying, hey, this is going to be almost like a horror type level event. So that's exciting. The next thing we have is What If? And I'm not quite sure. I asked a friend of mine who is more versed in this whole MCU thing as to what exactly this is going to be. And they said it's going to be like Russian roulette. And what happens if you spin the barrel? What could happen? So What If it's going to be voiced by Jeffrey Wright. He's going to be the all-seeing watcher, and he's going to show us, what if this happens? What if that had happened? What if, this event had not happened, or that person had not met this person? We're going to see the different possibilities of the universe happen. And it's going to include a lot of other MCU actors, which, by the way, my friend who was telling me about this said, it also could be a great way of bringing back characters that, said that they're done with the MCU, maybe for one-offs or special cameos like in Iron Man, So that's like, that's interesting. So that's, that's where we're at there. The next thing we have is we have Hawkeye, and this is going to be on Disney Plus. This is set for the fall of 2021. Will be with Jeremy Renner, and it will feature Katie Bishop, who is among the comic people, I should say. And it will show a he's a superhero without powers, training another superhero without powers. And I think it's really an interesting dynamic. I know Hawkeye always gets a lot of shit from people because he's like, Mr. I can just shoot arrows. But I think it's really important to show that you don't need to have superpowers. You don't have to have, the biggest muscles or the biggest brains to be a superhero. And I think that dynamic has never really been explored enough. And hopefully with this show, we get to see that and it gets explored because I think it's a really important message. Anybody can be a superhero. So I really enjoy that. The last one, and this is the one that's causing the biggest uproar, and it's really kind of been divisive so far in the last hour on the whole internet world, and that's Thor. And it's going to be called Thor Love and Thunder, and it's scheduled for November 5th of 2021. Talked about this the other day in another episode that they had even announced that the director was coming back and that we're getting one, and now we know the name, we know the date, and we know that Natalie Portman is coming back. Now, here's the thing. I know that it's the popular clickbait title to say, oh, Natalie Portman, didn't give a fuck about MCU and, just kind of left it at that. That's not necessarily true. It wasn't that she didn't want anything to do with the MCU or Thor. Her big problem was the fact that the director of Thor 2 was canned, and her name, escapes my mind at the current moment, but she went off to do Wonder Woman, and she didn't like that there wasn't enough for her character to do. She had a disagreement as to how the characters should be representative in the movie. So apparently they've cleared that up. They've, made their peace, and it's great to have her. Natalie Portman's a great actress. And so, whenever you take a great actress and you put them in, good roles, you get magic. So I'm really excited for her coming back. Now, there's, of course, a lot of questions between now and then. Is Thor still going to be fat? Where's the Guardians of the Galaxy? And all of that good stuff. So much to unpack, so much to talk about. So questions, everybody. Is everybody excited about this? Is there anything here that everybody's like, why do we have this? Or, because I've seen some people say, oh no, this is more of that kooky, because in case you missed that, Natalie Portman's supposed to come back as the female Thor, and people are just losing their shit. They're like, oh my god, more social justice warriors, more of that feminist bullshit. They're ruining our superheroes and all of that nonsense. And of course, that's crap. So what do you guys think? Is this something to be excited about? Is this something that, you're looking forward to? Or are you like, nah, this is stupid and we deserve more? Let me know what you think. So that's all I have for you. Like I said, it's just a really quick show update on everything that's been going on. Don't forget to follow us wherever you're listening to us, whether that's on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, on Stitcher, on Google Podcast, or through the Podbean app. Just hit subscribe and a like and leave us a comment. Let me know what you think of the show. You can follow me on Twitter, on Instagram. Just search for 365 movies in 365 days. I know that's a mouthful, and you can find us. So until next time, thank you very much and have a great night.